And maybe for today, have the feet a little bit closer than you normally would if you're standing and just hanging out. There's a little bit of a turn inwards of your toes. From the press of the feet, soften up your knees, relax your arms by your sides. If it's comfortable for you, close your eyes. And you can do a little scan of your body. If you like to start from the bottom, you're noticing which foot presses a little bit more into the mat, which toes grip a little bit more or less. You're following the sway forward and back or side to side. Traveling up, which parts of the thighs are touching, how much tension there is in the wrists and the elbows. You're letting the arms go and be heavy. Letting your heels plant down just a little bit more. So still getting into more of like a meditation mind and a slow breath, but from all the way standing. So you have lots of space to inhale. Imagine you have like thumbs underneath your armpits, picking you up as you inhale and widening your chest. And like you're putting on a little bit of a belt on your exhale, pulling the navel back and down. And 2 more, just to start our practice. Through the nose. Pick up your shoulders without really moving your shoulders, if that makes any sense at all. More power through your feet, through your balls of your feet on the exhale. So with your eyes closed and your last big breath, almost feels like you're floating, like you can feel the boundaries of your skin against the air. Nice, and we'll reach the arms up and over your head. For today, it's interlace the fingers and release the index fingers. You can cross your thumbs. As much as you can, pull on the arms. Feel those shoulder blades slide up towards your ears and allow them to be there. So they're pulling away from your ribs. There's a slight tuck of your chin. Soften your knees, just so you can almost scoop the butt under. Take a big breath in, pushing from the feet all the way into the fingers. Breath out, side bending over to the right side. Imagine you're pulling open the left side and you're squishing the right side. Try to get it all the way into the hip, the foot. Still breathing, it's getting more challenging. Pull on your arms, press into your palms. 1 breath in, more of a side bend on the breath out. Big inhale pulls you back towards center. Just relax the arms on the exhale, almost like a sigh. Nice. So arms up, same thing, just the other side. Allow those shoulders to lift, the hands to clasp. You can, if you want to, change the cross of your thumbs to exercise your mind a little. Like you're holding your head with your biceps. Pull the top of your head away from the feet. Take a breath in. Squeeze your thighs over to the left. We side bend, expanding the right ribs, armpit, tricep, even the wrist. And there's some more kind of squeeze, so you're contracting the left side. 1 more big breath in and out. Next time you come up, release your arms. You can shake out your wrists. Okay, now we'll reach the arms back up, just like you had them, the palms touch. I like to interlace the palms. It just kind of gives some pressure to the palms. And we'll soften the knees. This time, on your inhale, arch your spine. So it's gonna look like you're sticking your bum out and you're leaning back. And the more you stick the bum out, the more you can lean back, almost like you're holding your head with your arms. Stick those ribs out, get a big full belly breath in, and the breath out, scoop under the pelvis, and as if you're pointing forward, a little weird, but send those ribs back, tuck the chin, still the knees are bent. So 1 more like that, using your spine, bum, sit bones, tailbone back, elbows reach back, but the armpits reach up, and breath out, rounding, tucking, pushing back. Good. Stand up tall and release. So one more. Well, bend the knees more. So now you're more like into an Utkatasana pose. Push those thighs together and lengthen the spine. So mostly we're leaning back. Take the hands behind your head. Elbows are wide. Push the palms together. It'll be easier and nice to arch the spine. So we say don't do this in our practice, but let's do it. So you're spilling the belly forward, the hips forward, breath in. Still with your knees bent, tuck. So round the spine, still with your knees bent, using more your hamstrings and your head goes down. One more, I promise. Breath in. So you're moving your pelvis back, moving your ribs open. Breath out, round. This will feel nice. Straighten the legs as you push your head down gently into your fold. Hands to the mat. Come halfway up. And fold deeper, leaning into the fronts of your feet and lifting your sitting bones up and relaxing your head. Nice. Now from here, fingertips to the mat if you can reach them. If you practice with blocks and the ground is too far, this is where they would go. Let's bend the knees, but don't let the feet come off the ground. So let the knees spill forward beyond the toes. Imagine a huge calf stretch. Imagine you are trying to sit into a tiny little ball, and when your bum is almost on the ground, go for it. Let those heels lift. And if they're on the ground, that's great. Mine don't go there. Walk your hands a little bit forward. Tuck the chin, pull on the mat, and push like your heels are gonna touch the ground one day. So there's a big pull of the back muscles, include your head. Good, then tip forward, the knees come down. Squeeze those heels together, still your toes are tucked. Circle your arms around you, big opening until your fingertips touch the ground. And guess what, we're arching the spine. Big breath in. Nice. Start rounding by tucking the tailbone, reaching, pressing into your feet. Arms go forward past your knees, and there we are. Push off the ground, lift your knees, and send the weight back into the feet. So knees off of the mat. So big exaggerated arch and big exaggerated round. One more, knees down. Press into the knees to lift. Reach the arms all the way back. Touch the ground and push the chest up. You can even scoop the hips up like a little or a big giant back bend. And then hips down, tucking, rounding, and finding the mat with your hands. And lifting your knees and rounding one more time. Nice. From this rounding, drop your knees down to the ground. One more time, keeping those toes tucked. Walk yourself into a child's pose. So widen your knees with your toes tucked. Walk your hands forward, make it active, push the ground away with your hands. Hands are really wide, like the corners of your mat. Drop your head and push the mat away from you, push the mat away from your toes. And then untuck your toes. Keep your right hand pressing, scoop your left arm underneath. So like threading the needle arms, turn your ear if you can, and continue pushing the ground, both hands. And we'll kind of bend the right elbow. So stay in your threading the needle. Bend your right elbow, lift the right elbow, and have a little peek underneath that arm. So really like you're gonna fold over completely, like roll under and reach a little bit more with that left hand. Nice, and we'll walk forward, switch sides. First, just a regular thread the needle arm. The arm rolls under. Pushing into your top hand. Oopsie. And then bending that left elbow and really reaching underneath, like you're looking up towards the ceiling. Then walk yourself back up. We're in a tabletop. And maybe a little overkill, but we're going to arch the spine just one time. Breathe in and round the spine on your breath out. Come into a kind of neutral spine, but maybe a little bit rounder, like separate your shoulders. The eyes of the elbows are facing each other and the hands are pressing. Tuck those toes under and really tuck them under, like go for a little walk almost with the feet. Let's lift the knees off of the ground. We call this bear pose. So definitely feeling the abdomen. You can always drop the knees when you need. Push from the toes. Send your shoulders past your wrists and push into the ground. Take a big breath in. On your breath out, bend the knees so your hips slide back and you're pushing off of your hands. Go as far back as you can go without the tailbone touching the heels. One more time, pulling forward by pushing on each toe, pushing into your hands and sending your chest forward. Nice, and back, bend those knees, scrub the hips back, push into your palms. You're making springs with your legs. Come into your tabletop. Ooh, it's a lot of work. And walk your hands forward. So arms are already in a diagonal, like a wide tabletop. Take a breath in, soften the elbows, arch the spine, breathe in. Breath out, round your spine, push like crazy with your palms, separate the shoulders. Nice, keep that feeling of those shoulders separated, but relax the belly just a little. Tuck your toes under, lift the knees off of the ground. It might feel easier. Push off of your toes and kind of straightening the legs. You can think of it, stacking those shoulders in line with the wrists. Kind of looks like a plank pose. Bend the knees. Send your hips back by pushing into your hands and drop your head. And same exact thing, push into your feet. Find more of a rounded upper spine, lengthening the legs into like a short plank, pushing your heels, pushing your palms. Bend the knees, send the hips back, drop the head, and this time, lift the hips into like a short downward facing dog. So relax the head and step back with the heels. You're straightening the back of the legs. So your first down dog. Big breath in. And one out the mouth. Nice, and back into your tabletop. One last time, not too far away from you, but a little bit further from where you had the hands. So this is it. It's like we're going from a plank to a downward facing dog. We'll tuck the toes, really, really tuck the toes. It's all about the feet. Pull the shoulders apart. Lift your knees off of the ground. Nice. Now from your feet, imagine you're kicking a wall, pulse forward. You're in a really strong plank because we're using all of the leg strength, all of the hand strength, and bend your knees, push into your hands. So first the bum is low and you're getting that stretch of the back, then lift the hips, straighten the legs. Here we are, downward facing dog. Nice. Then we bend the knees, pulse forward into a plank. Knees come down to the mat, untuck your toes, and come all the way down to the mat. Bend your elbows, squeeze your arms in close. You can just rest your forehead on your palms for a second. Lengthen your legs, and press both sides of your pelvis into the mat. Nice, from here, we'll bend, you can keep your head down. I'm gonna lift it just to speak a little. So you can bend the left knee, so your left toes are reaching towards you. The left foot is coming in towards the tailbone. And lift up, so you're onto your forearms now, and you have one bent knee. Keep your left forearm in the mat, reach with your right, and see if you can grab the foot. So it might be a big reach, you might need to come onto your arm. Once you have the inside of your foot, press your foot into your hand, and try to keep pressing into your right side of the pelvis, the whole right leg. And see if you can lift your knee any amount by diving down with that hip point. Try to look forward and roll the right shoulder down. Nice. Drop the knee, let go, and take your right forearm down to the ground. Really simple, bending the right knee. Try to get it as close to you as you can by lifting the kneecap and by pressing the pelvis. Press into your other forearm and reach back to grab the inside of your foot. And you're scooping up the hand with your foot and resisting. Good. And this side really peels off my left hip point. I need to push it back down into the mat, lift my knee, and use my forearm just to be stable. We'll drop that knee down, release the foot, forehead to the mat, hands close to your ribs, point your toes, press the tops of your feet down, inhale, baby cobra, so just lifting the chest, pressing down the pelvis, breath out, child's pose, round with the whole spine, just for the exhale, drop your head. Inhale, let's come into our tabletop with our tucked toes. And exhale, let's lift those knees off of the ground. Nice. Breath in, pulsing a little bit forward. Breath out all the way into your downward facing dog. Really nice. Relax the head. And draw those sitting bones all the way up towards the ceiling. From here, re-bend those knees to lower the bum. So make your spring and press into your two palms. Breathe in, breathe out, come forward and bring your right knee in towards your chest. Stay here on the inhale. Three-legged dog, that same leg goes up and back. Point your toes today and inner rotate the right thigh. Nice. And breath in. Stay, lower the left heel on the breath out. Stay, lower the right hip, and step the right foot all the way through. Tap your left knee down. Come onto your fingertips or blocks. We're in our lunge, but get those hips to lower, like kind of like you snap an elastic and you let them go. Now left fingertips stay down. They can be on a block. Turn to face your right knee. Bend your back knee. And reach with your hand and see if there's any way you can grab that foot. You're using the foot coming towards you and you going towards the foot. Easier to point the toes, and the same thing we just did, holding on to the inside of your foot. Resist the foot into the hand and twist the upper spine. Now, if you have that foot, try letting go of the foot and seeing if it could stay where it was. It'll probably fall a little, that's okay. Let's take the right hand on the outside of the right foot. Tap that foot down. Find your pyramid pose by tucking the toes, leaning forward and back. Let's try flexing this foot today if you can. Fingertips on either side of your front foot. Lean a little to the left side of your mat. So like a kind of tiny little twist, and drop your head on the inseam of your shin. Big breath along the spine and fold. And we'll pulse forward, bend that right knee back into a lunge. Lift the heel of your back foot, bend the knees to like a right angle. So you have two bent knees and we're coming up into a high lunge without extending this back knee for now. We want, so you can try it, you can arch the spine and spill the pelvis forward, and then you can roll it in, and this is where we want it. We call it tucked, but really it's like neutral. Arms can be over your head. Take a breath in. Bend your back knee straight down to the mat. Nice. There's a little part we rush. We're going to do it again without rushing. Press into your front foot. Bend the knee. Lift the back knee just into the right angle. Nice. Take an inhale. Slow as you can go down without rushing right here. Ooh, we drop the knee. Good. Hands come to your hips. Come onto both of your knees. If you need your hands, that's okay. And we'll have a seat on our shins. Good. You can try to squeeze those shins in because they're trying to maybe fall away from each other. One time, let's inhale, arch the spine here, sending that tailbone long. And exhale, round the spine, push the ribs, but also scoop under. Nice. Now inhale, neutral spine. Exhale, hands come forward, come off of your shins, and that's where we find our tuck. So not too hard, we'll try it again. Inhale, we come down. Press into your shins, tops of your feet. Exhale, we come up. One more. Inhale, we come down. Resist arching your spine. And exhale, come up. Okay, got it? So we're gonna make it a little harder. Inhale, we come down. Exhale, round your spine. So tuck in. Take a breath in, we're gonna need it. We're only coming halfway up with a tucked little pelvis. So nice. Lower 1 inch. Oof, lift 1 inch. One more time, lower 1 inch, tuck even more. Lift 1 inch. And have a seat. You can thank your quads. And so we'll reach the arms up, come forward, and back into your downward facing dog. You can go 1 foot at a time maybe. Might feel nice to press down the heels, have super straight legs, and stretch out those quads. Just 1 second, it's too hot in my room. Okay. So just the other side. We'll start in a downward facing dog. We'll load up our spring by bending the knees a lot and sending those hips back, looking forward where we're going. Left knee comes in towards the chest. Press into your hands, three-legged dog, and stay. Turn in the left heel and lower the right heel. Nice. Really extend the leg today. So we're pointing the toes. We're working with that hip. One more breath, push into your palms. Step it all the way forward to your left thumb. Right knee comes down and really land here first before we go anywhere else. So it's nice to not be right directly on the back kneecap, kind of a little bit forward of it. Take your right hand or fingertips down. Look back, bend your back knee, and reach to grab maybe the toe or a strap or a towel around and pull your knee in, twist the chest. It's resisting with your foot, with your hand, really get into the pelvis lowering. And little challenge, let it go and see if your foot can stay where it is. Nice. Then drop it down. Find your pyramid pose. Walk your back foot in, flex your left foot. Hike up your left hip, and let's move the hips to the right side as you bow. Nice. Walk or send your hips to center. Bend your left knee, bend your right knee to come up. So use some of that back foot and hands to your hips. Arch the spine. And like you're rounding the spine, really we're just pulling that pelvis back. Find your stance. Arms can reach up. Take a breath in. So we're doing this twice, bending that back knee until it comes close or it does touch the ground. Nice. Feeling your feet before we move up. Lift that knee up, keep it bent though. Really nice. Breath in and coming down one more time. There we go. We stay. Find your balance and bring that other leg back just where we were. Untuck your toes, have a little seat. We're gonna pick up right where we left off. I know, so inhale, arch your spine. Exhale, round. Keep this shape. We're mostly looking in the pelvis. So you're leaning back as much as you can. Hands out in front of you. Let's get ready, take a breath in. Come up, but not the whole way. So up here, it's not where we wanna be, it's really halfway. Hard to hold. Let's tap the thighs with your hands. Reach the arms over your head. Do more like that, tapping the thighs, reaching the arms. Press your shins, not just your quads. Then one more. Reach up and have a seat and let it go. Try to relax those quads a sec. Nice, using your hands. Crawl forward, pick yourself up into a downward facing dog. Really simple, an option to flow anywhere you're at today, but let's come forward into a plank. You can do that same bending of the knees, pushing yourself forward, or more fluid, the knees can come down all the way down to the mat. Point your toes, hands come further back. You're extending those legs long. Upward facing dog, there's the arch of your upper spine too. And downward facing dog, lift up and back. And relax the head. Nice, we'll load up our spring again. So bend those knees, push with your hands. All the weight is behind you. Bring that right knee in towards your chest. Okay, a little harder now. Press into your palms and your left foot. Three-legged plank. You just extend one leg long. Hold it just for the inhale. Three-legged dog. Lift that right leg up. Good. Take a breath in. Swing that right knee to your left elbow. That same kind of bend and pull. Kick out that right leg. And we have our fallen triangle. You can tip down the left heel, reach the left arm up, and pull your hips away from the ground. Nice. Reaching with the chest, press with your right hand, and we'll spin and have a seat. Drop down just where you are. Yeah, good. And from here, hands behind you. I'll just face you for now. Your knees are bent. And your feet are flexed. Hands behind you, take a breath in, lift the chest up. Breath out, both knees fall to the left side. We bring the knees back up, and the knees go over to the right side. Nice. A little faster, lifting the knees over to the left. Really let the weight of the knees do it, lifting the knees and over to the right. This time, turn over the right thigh so your legs are kind of mirrored. And it's like deer pose. So you're walking your hands forward. There's that same kind of twist. You can reach your left arm through that hole in the right arm. We're not here long, but feel the twist with your legs in this position. Nice, and to come out, I'll spin around, but really simple, back into your plank pose. So find both hands in the mat, find your heels, strong legs, take a breath in. For 3, 2, 1, we're going down to the mat. So 3, bend the elbows, 2, and 1. Right away, point your toes, make your legs long. Reach your arms by your hips. Purna Shalabhasana, you're pressing the pelvis to lift the upper spine. Toes getting closer together, arms reaching to touch your feet. And hands come close to the ribs. Drop your feet, drop your forehead. Squeeze your arms in, upward facing dog or baby cobra. Downward facing dog, hips up and back. Nice. Let's wind up our spring, bend the knees, push off the ground. Bring your left knee in towards your elbow, towards your chest. The rest of you is in a plank. Keep this. Extend your left leg long, 3-legged plank, pushing like crazy with your hands. 3-legged dog, lift that leg up. Breath in. Bring that left knee towards the right elbow, same spring forward. Fallen triangle, kick out to the side. Turn your heels and lift your arm. High as you can go, breathe in. And have a seat just where you are. You can bend the right knee, land soft. Good. So feet are wide, pick up underneath your thighs. Feet are in the same position. This time, we don't want to use our hands. So maybe hold on to your elbows out in front of you. We're going to keep a press in the heels, take a breath in, let the knees go over to the right side. A lot harder without using your hands behind you. Lift them up by scooping the pelvis under and let them go over to the left side. And one more time, picking them up, over to the right, picking them up, and over to the left where we stay. Continue to twist, face over the left thigh. If you want the twisting, the right arm is just reaching. So it's just the upper body twisting. And so you can bring yourself back towards kind of center, just the front of your mat, and find a plank pose. So dragging that foot under, again, we're in our plank pose. Take your big breath in, all the way down to the mat on your breath out. From here, we'll bend both of your knees. Keep your hands close to your rib cage. See how close you can get your feet towards you. And lift. Imagine lifting those kneecaps off of the ground. So they're not really gonna go anywhere, but let's fire up those quads again. Reach your arms to grab your heels and pause there for a second. Right before you grab, then go for it. Grab the tops of the feet or the heels and kick and lift. One big breath in and let it go. Left ear to the mat. Just relax down, roll the shoulders, the feet, catch your breath. And look to the other side, right ear comes down. All right, pulling forward your back bend, breath in, and downward facing dog on the breath out. Here we'll look forward. Walk or hop, so we haven't done it yet. I would just walk my feet all the way towards the hands. We're at the top of the mat. Take a halfway lift on the breath in, and then all the way down, fold on the breath out. Maybe a little closer than you're used to, pressing the feet, rise up, reach your arms all the way over your head. Pull the spine longer on the breath in. We're side bending to the right side, but adding like you're pointing down. So there's like a side fold action. The legs are strong, twisting a little and coming up the other side. So reaching and the arms come up last, and we're back up. Good, balance on your right foot. Bring your left knee up into your chest. So take a second to balance and scoop up underneath your left hamstring. So we're doing left leg first, yeah. Press into the standing leg. So maybe straighten it more. And let's scoop that pelvis under. So we don't want the pelvis going back or us leaning forward. Straighten out your legs. We do this sometimes. Let's point those toes today. Nice. Find your balance. Take a big breath in. Reach your arms up, maybe, but continue to point that toe and lift the whole leg and make it super long. One more inhale. One more exhale. Nice. And then swing it back. You can touch the ground on the way, but like a toppling tree with a pointed toe. So even out your hips, you can hold them, reach your arms back, and lift your leg by squeezing the glute into the hamstring. So lots of work behind the leg. Think your hip is getting super long in the front. One breath in. Standing splits from here. Bend this front knee, right knee. Bend your left knee and drop the head and lift your left knee up high. And take this right hand, if you're up for it, and press the back of your calf or the whole forearm to hold your leg, and dive down and just take a look underneath that left arm. And it's a lot, it's twisting, it's balancing, it's a big stretch. Lift your left knee, bow your head, take a deeper inhale and exhale. Nice. And step down that foot, bend the knees, drop the head. And we'll push into the feet, rise all the way up, and just do the other side. On your inhale, pull yourself, make yourself an inch taller. Exhale like you're side bending to the left, and then diving down, touching the ground, and coming up on the right side. The arms are the last thing to come up as you reach. Nice, nice big circle. Balance on your left foot, bring your right knee into your chest. Scoop up underneath the right hamstring. Press even more into your left foot and scoop under that pelvis. So without letting it trail back. That's the trick. Nice. When you're ready, we extend that leg super long and point the toes and reach the arms up, and the leg is staying floating. Squeeze your glutes. Lean back instead of forward. One big inhale, big exhale. Nice. Then like a toppling tree with pointed toes. Extend, extend, extend the leg. Turn the heel up, so the thigh's going down, and bend your left knee as much as you need. Reaching with your arms too. One more breath. Lean down by bending your left knee, bend your right knee. Tuck your head down and lift that right knee up. And walk your left hand closer to the foot. Maybe you grab your ankle And lift the elbow and peek underneath your right armpit. So no name for this pose really, like a twisted standing splits. Continue to lift that right knee up. Nice. And to come out, bend both knees, land your feet soft. Come up halfway, big breath in. And fold, breathe out. This time halfway up, hands down, step your feet back, plank pose, maybe all the way through your chaturanga. I'm gonna use my knees. Baby cobra. And downward facing dog. So here we go. Bend your knees. You're making a spring, push into your hands, push into your toes. Bring your right knee in towards your chest. Hold it there for a second. Stretch that right leg long, three-legged plank. Breathe in, three-legged downward facing dog. One inhale. Step that right foot all the way through into your low lunge on your exhale. This time, untuck your back toes. Just reach the arms up, add a back bend if you feel stable in your pelvis, stable in your feet. And bow forward, land your hands, pyramid pose, straighten your legs, and fold. Halfway up, breath in. Soften your right knee, walk your hands forward, standing splits, just where we were, breath out. Bend your left knee, walk your left or your right hand closer to your right foot, okay? Until you can maybe take it off the ground and grab the inside of your foot. Trust your left hand, bow your head, and try maybe to look underneath your left armpit. Good. So if the foot isn't coming towards you, you're maybe just reaching one arm up. Try bending the right knee. We're going to come up by letting go of that foot, kick it out, come into your Ardha Chandrasana. So I have my block here. You can have the ground, open up the left hip, push the left foot away from you, flex it, and reach that left arm up. We'll meet here, take an inhale. Soften your right knee, step back, warrior two, so big wide stance. Good. Even lower with the hips. Reach your right arm up and over. And left hand comes down to the ground. Twisting lunge, reach your right arm up. One breath in. Turn your left heel down, side plank, stack your feet, push with your arms, and reach your right arm up high. Next, one inhale. Plank through chaturanga on your exhale, or skip it. We'll meet in our downward facing dog. Here we are. Last time, bending the knees, springing back. Feel each one of your toes. Pull forward with your left knee towards your left elbow. Stay, but just the left leg goes back. Three-legged plank. Three-legged dog, lift that left leg up. One more breath in. Step your left foot all the way through, tap your right knee down, untuck your back toes, and go for it. Low lunge, arching, lifting the spine. All the power coming from the legs. And bow down, pyramid pose. Straighten both legs, more weight in your heel. Okay, bend the left knee. First, you're transferring all the weight into that foot. You're walking the hands forward, lift the right leg up like a standing split, then bend the right knee. Left hand continues to walk towards the left foot, just to sneak back and catch the inside maybe of that foot. The right hand can go really far away from the foot. Bend the knee and look underneath your armpit. Like we're a little bit of a pretzel, but we worked all our class to get here. Lift that knee, pull on that foot. To come out, let go of your foot, find the ground or a block with your left hand, push like crazy onto your left foot, and we're in our Ardha Chandrasana-ish pose. Perfect. Bend your left knee, yeah, step back, warrior two. Reach really wide away from each other, sink those hips. We'll reach back over your head. Reverse it, twisting lunge, right hand comes down, right heel lifts, left arm reaches up. If you're up for it, spin the heel down, side plank, push your hips up, squeeze the thighs, and stack your shoulders. And left hand comes down, all the way down to the mat. Your baby cobra lifts you up. Back into a child's pose. This time with your toes flat against the mat, just let your head go. And take your hands closer to your heels, round the shoulders. And use your hands to walk yourself up. So now we're seated again on our shins. You're gonna tuck the toes under and have a seat again onto the shins. Reach your right hand to grab the right heel. So you're holding on with the thumb on the inside. This left arm is free. You're gonna take a breath in, reach the left arm over your head, and tuck the tailbone under. Even here to push off of the feet. And now we're in our back bend. You're holding onto one heel and reaching with your other hand. And it might feel like there's a spine arch, but we're squeezing the glutes. So push your hips forward and let the chest open up. And come forward, make a crease at your hips. Land again. So trust that you'll land on your heels. Switch your sides right away. Left hand, hold on to the left heel. Thumb on the inside. Reach the arm up. Slide that tailbone down. Make room, push off, and add the back bend at the top. And tailbone down, heels down. Last one, only if you're up for it. You're holding the inside of both of your heels, so you can widen them a little bit if you need. It might feel like you can't fit, but roll the shoulders back, pull the tailbone under, push into your feet and your hands, camel with your toes tucked, drop your head. Enjoy your last back bend. Again, pushing from our toes, tailbone down, and arching the spine. So all the things we've been doing. And to come out, bend right at the hips, the knees extend. Hands come forward, untuck the toes. Take a second with a neutral spine. And choose one of your hips. Swing your legs out from underneath you. So you have these long legs. And we'll come down so your hands are behind your back. You want if you can, the fingertips are facing forward. If that's too much, they're kind of facing outwards. Bend your knees. Feet are flat to the ground. Arch the spine here. So do that again. Just one last kind of little experiment. Let's arch the spine. So lift, 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 lift the chest. Push into your palms to give you a little help. And then let's round it. Like you're leaning back. You can bend the elbows. You can feel all the way to the middle back. So we'll push and we'll arch and we'll lift. And we'll bend the elbows and round and lean back. I will go somewhere neutral, so straight arms, but pull the pelvis in, press into the feet, and lift your pelvis off of the mat like a reverse tabletop. Pull the chest up towards the ceiling and lengthen your tailbone. Feel each one of your toes. Maybe relax your head. To come out, tuck the chin, land soft. Walk your feet a little bit longer, and let's try one more variation. The heels are pressing down into the mat. Lift the chest, but pull the tailbone under. Press into your palms. Lift the hips and extend so like the toes are gonna touch the ground. Like a reverse plank, squeeze the shoulder blades together behind you. Lift the hips, tone the glutes. To come out, flex the feet, bend the knees, sit your bum down. We'll move the fleshy part away. You'll have your legs as long as you can have them, but we'll reach those arms forward. Take a breath in. Breath out, start rolling on your pelvis, so tucking the sitting bones under. Everything we've been doing, think like you're making the biggest cat spine or cow spine that you can, all the way down to the mat. Once you're there, bend your knees, widen your feet the width of your mat. Arms are just long by the sides, palms face up, shoulders press down, and knock your knees together in the middle. And take a breath in. Let your knees fall to the left side. Lift your left heel, if you can, to the top of your right thigh to press down both knees and look over your right shoulder. Winding down now, your eyes can be closed.
Something that needs to be said, but it's on my mind. Maybe we'll take a break. And yeah, something shifted. Did it all go too fast? Maybe let's take it back to those days.
You can always have the option of reaching your arms over your head, just making your spine really, really long. Come out of it with the feet wide, let the knees go all the way to the other side. Lift your right heel and push the knee down. Look over your left shoulder.
Or maybe we'll work it out.
Please come back towards center. Oops. Find the feet, find some pressure in your feet in the mat. We'll attempt to lift up the tailbone. So it's like you're trying to get your bum to lift. You're gonna reach the arms long by your sides for now and bring your knees up. So this is our last pose. If you know it, it's plow pose, but we're gonna go really slow. So press into the backs of your arms, tilt. This is the key, tilting the tailbone up. So we're rounding again a lot. And the legs are heavy, they're gonna help you out. So don't look side to side like I am, tuck the chin, lift like there's a spatula under your back and pull the toes back and use your arms, they're there, push the arms down, maybe let the tippy toes touch the ground. If you can't get there, that's okay. You can always bend the knees somewhere that's kind of comfortable to hang out for a little bit. Keep that chin tucked. Maybe close your eyes. Stretch all along the low back. You can use your hands on your low back to keep you in your big forward fold. The nervous system is kind of calming down a little. And when you're ready to come out, palms on the ground, roll down your spine, resisting in the backs of your arms, getting as flat as you can, one vertebra at a time to the mat. And maybe pausing with your feet on the mat in a Supta Baddha Konasana before your Shavasana, just to kind of let go in that low back, palms face up. Start to relax the upper spine. This is a perfect place to stay for your rest, or extend your legs a little bit longer. More traditional, let the feet flop out. And please stay in your Shavasana a little longer. Thank you so much for coming to practice. Namaste.